I'm Keith Olbermann, and this is The Resistance. FBI and congressional investigators are reportedly scouring evidence that Donald Trump may have met privately 13 months ago with the Russian ambassador who was at the nexus of all of the Trump-Russia scandals. This was reported last week by NBC News and CNN, but it fell between the cracks that were the Covfefe tweet and the abandonment of the Paris Climate Accord, and it got no traction, and it is kind of important. It is, in fact, weapons-grade important. In short, it's when Donnie met Sergey. The date was April 27, 2016. The locale, the Mayflower Hotel in Washington. The sponsor, the so-called Center for the National Interest, which is run by the Russian emigre Dmitry Simes, who has long maintained a personal connection to the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin, along with neocon Richard Burt, who, among other things, is an advisor to the infamous Russian outfit Alfa Bank. This was not some casual event. The Mayflower speech was the first major foreign policy address of Donald Trump's presidential campaign, and in the front row for it, you can see him in the pictures and the video, is the Russian ambassador Sergei Kislyak. Also in attendance, Jared Kushner and Jeff Sessions. It is also no secret that before the speech, there was a VIP reception at which, quoting the Wall Street Journal, Trump warmly greeted Mr. Kislyak and 3 other foreign ambassadors who came to the reception. But just how warmly? 5 current and former U.S. officials said they are aware of classified intelligence suggesting there was some sort of private encounter between Trump and his aides and the Russian envoy, NBC reported, despite a heated denial from Sessions. We all know how much credibility a heated denial from Sessions about meetings with Russians should be given. It is also unclear if that VIP session and the so-called private encounter between Trump and Kislyak are the same thing or separate meetings, but if you read a little between the lines, you get a sense that there is some evidence somewhere, maybe from our intelligence people surveilling Kislyak or another country's spies surveilling somebody else, that at some point on April 27th, 2016, there were more words between Trump and his entourage and Kislyak than just the pleasantries of a receiving line, as described this past March by a spokesman for that pro-Kremlin group that hosted Trump's speech. Moreover, those would seem to be words that are just now ringing bells. NBC quotes an official who says, "The FBI is interested in who was at the event and what was said in the context of the counterintelligence investigation into Russian election meddling." Timing is, as always, everything. April 27, 2016 is around the time that the Democratic National Committee would begin to realize there was unusual activity on its computer network. This would soon be confirmed as the Russian hacking. All the NBC sources emphasize they only know there is classified intel about the Trump-Kislyak meeting or meetings. They don't know what it confirms or that it confirms anything. They and everybody else know that this week Trump is up to his neck in former FBI directors, what with James Comey scheduled to testify to the Senate Intelligence Committee Thursday, and his predecessor, the new Justice Department Special Counsel Robert Mueller, reportedly taking over what had been a separate criminal investigation into Paul Manafort and Russia, and also reportedly considering expanding still further into investigating the roles of Attorney General Sessions and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein in Trump's firing of Comey, and the Associated Press's source on whether or not Mueller legally can investigate Sessions and Rosenstein is a pretty good one. It's Rosenstein himself. As you will recall, Trump has reportedly at least mulled invoking executive privilege to keep Comey from testifying. But my friend John Dean and others have pointed out that Comey is now a private citizen, and anyway, the subject of what Trump and Comey talked about was discussed by Trump publicly, on Twitter no less. So if there was any executive privilege, Trump has piddled it away. The Trump-Russia octopus is now so large that his apologists, like Fox News, have even gone so far as to offer a kind of doomsday defense. Collusion is not a crime, only an antitrust law, said Greg Jarrett. You can collude all you want with a foreign government in an election. There's no such statute. So Trump's not guilty of joining with an enemy foreign government to fix the presidential election, or, oh, well, maybe he is. But so what? There ain't no law against that. In fact, if Trump colluded with the Russians, PolitiFact reported that he could be guilty of fraud, public corruption, conspiracy, and receiving illegal foreign campaign contributions. And if he traded something to the Russians for their help, like a vow to lift sanctions against Russia or a vow to destroy NATO, well, we have now moved into the territory of espionage and treason charges. The original point here. The reporting on FBI and congressional investigations of what happened when Donald Trump and Sergei Kislyak met in Washington on April 27, 2016 might be the most important break yet in this case. Or it might mean nothing, because not only does it get lost in the latest giant bag of manure generated just this week by this man occupying this presidency, but it also gets lost in the amazing number of individual Trump-Russia scandals. You may have seen this on the internet. As best as I can find, it tracks back to early April and a repost on a political cartoon website by somebody calling themselves Radish. Let me read all of it except the fringy stuff that doesn't hold much water. I don't know, Radish began. It's hard for me to see any U.S. ties to Russia except for the Flynn thing and the Manafort thing, and the Tillerson thing, and the Sessions thing, and the Kushner thing, and the Carter Page thing, and the Roger Stone thing, and the Felix Sater thing, and the Boris Epshteyn thing, and the alleged Rosneft thing, and the supposed Gazprom thing, and the Sergei Gorkov banker thing, and the Donald Trump Jr. thing, and the Sergei Kislyak thing, and the Russian affiliated interest thing, and the Russian business interest thing, and the Alex Schneider thing, and the hack of the DNC thing, and the Guccifer 2.0 thing, and the Mike Pence I don't know anything thing, and Trump's public request to Russia to hack Hillary's email thing, and the Trump house sale for $100 million at the bottom of the housing bus to the Russian fertilizer king thing, and the Russian fertilizer king's plane showing up in Concord, North Carolina during Trump's rally campaign thing, and the Nunes sudden flight to the White House in the night thing, and the Cyprus Bank thing, and Trump not releasing his tax returns thing, and the Republican Party's rejection of amendment to require Trump to show his taxes thing, and the election hacking thing, and the GOP platform change to the Ukraine thing, and the Steele dossier thing, and the Leninist Bannon thing, and the intelligence community's investigative reports thing, and Trump's reassurance that the Russian connection is all fake news thing, and Spicer's Russian dressing, there's nothing there thing. So there's probably nothing there since the swamp has been drained. These people would never lie. Probably why Nunes cancels the investigations meetings. All of this must be normal. Just a bunch of separate dots with no connection. And all that was before the Trump-Kislyak thing. Resist. Peace.